Ogun Tinuke, I've been seeing you all, from the beginning. Olori Honey, I see you all. Thank you so much. Mama C George, my personal person. Thank you so much for coming. So, I don't want to keep us any further. So I'll just go right in to read the profile of our guest. She's here already. I should serenade you, Abby. Oh, it's very needed. We need it. We need that thing. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. First, let me apologize for um rescheduling the first session we're to have at 4 p.m. Sometimes these things you can't just you have no power over them. So thank you for your understanding. We'll have that session at 8 p.m. So we have today somebody very special. Um, she will be talking to us about a very sensitive topic when it comes to special needs children, and especially in this part of the world. Thank God things are even evolving now. Most people, they don't even know that their children might be struggling with certain kind of disabilities or learning drawbacks and all of that, and they just begin to compare their children with other people. They don't know if this child is dyslexic. They don't know if this child has a learning disability. They don't even know how their child learns. And then they begin to, have too high expectations for the child. But thankfully, today we have somebody very special in our midst that will be, sensitizing us on how to make the best of raising special needs children. It can be very, very demanding. I salute the courage of parents with special needs children, but I tell you, with the right strategies, with the right information, that child can thrive. And that's why I'm so excited to have Adebola Adefioye with us this evening. She has a degree in psychology, which inspired her work with children with neurodevelopmental disorders such as autism and other related disorders. She's a trained Montessori educator and professionally licensed to work with individuals with special needs. She's done several courses in applied behavioral analysis. She's trained in teach techniques, and she's also an advanced certified autism specialist from the International Board of Credentialing and Continuing Education Standards. With over 17 years experience, Adebola believes each child can thrive given the right tools and environment. Adebola took courses in nutrition because of her belief in the importance of diet in working with individuals with neurodevelopmental disorders, and this led her to open another business called Fruity Arts, which also teaches fruit carving as a form of therapy to individuals with learning disabilities. That is so, so, so thoughtful and so such a beautiful concept. Adebola has authored I Believe I Speak. It's a 30-day devotional for children with neurodevelopmental challenges. She's also the convener of Help Me Be Me conference. It's a conference specifically for special needs. She runs Child Expert, a company that offers assessment, behavior modification, nutrition, school integration, amongst others, to individuals with neurodevelopmental disorders. She also volunteers with several NGOs during her spare time. Such a rich profile. We're so happy to have Adebola with us this evening. Thank you so much for agreeing to do. Okay, so she's on her way here already. She's on her way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Hello, Adebola.
Hi,
Good to have you here. Good to see
thank
you.
you. Thank you for having me. for having me.
Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. So, I know
Cerebral palsy was, I just thought it was 1997, yeah. And it wasn't
wow.
so, knowledge wasn't so much then. And even the mother didn't know what was wrong with her child.
Mm,
She just knew that at 9 months, the child could had the neck wasn't standing and all. I always tell sometimes when I have clients come to meet me, I tell my clients that I tell my clients that when when you notice these things, write them down. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, 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 I
Can you hear
can.
me?
Yes,
Okay,
I
yeah, okay,
can.
yeah, okay. So we ask them these things that you notice. Would you please write them down? Because you live with your child, you know what is wrong. So write them down. Write things you notice. Maybe if you've had a previous child, you have an older child, you can say, oh, my child, my first son started talking at maybe, started blabbing at so age. But this one,
Mm.
he has passed that age. What's wrong? There are red flags. You begin to ask questions. So we tell you, write
Mm.
them down, write your observations down, write what the things that you notice down. So that when you come to see a therapist, you can tell them, this is what I noticed. His brother was, yes, we always tell you not to compare. But like I said, they're general milestones. It's like when you see
Mm.
from a child of 3 months, the neck must stand. A child of particular age starts to babble. He's making noise.
Yeah.
He's doing mannerisms. He's when you pass your hand across his eye, the child is following with the eye and all that. But when you notice that your child isn't doing this, maybe when you ooh and coo at the child is looking at you
Mm.
straight face, like,
Mm.
those are signs. You begin to wonder because normally you tickle a child, the child is laughing, moving, but you see that
Yeah.
this child doesn't do that. Those are red flags, and we ask you to begin to notice. We begin ask you to begin to put down these things so we know what to do. Also, a
Yeah.
child with cerebral palsy, like we ask you, begin to do therapy. Start to get some of them are so bad, some of them they ask them to do neck braces, or some of them are just we even say like when they tell you people when someone has cancer or all this, they always tell you early intervention, early detection, because at the early stages, it's still malleable. You can still manipulate, you can still work around it, so it's easier like that. And then when parents eventually find out that, okay, this is what is wrong with my child, a lot of them go like, they take a step back. They're like, wow. Like I said, nobody prepares for such news. It happens. So we understand that it will take you a while to absorb the news, to go through it. And at that stage, we tell a lot of people go through denial. They go, it's not true, it's not possible, this can't happen, and all that. And we understand, we perfectly understand, and we understand that people take news in different ways. So we allow you to take time, but in the taking time, we also tell you time is of the essence. You can't take too much time thinking, because every day as your child grows, your child needs something to help. So those are all the things that we always ask and all that. Then, like I said, making the best of it. How do you go about it? What do you need to do? Okay, now my child has cerebral palsy. My child has autism. What do I need to do? And that's the first question is, the first thing is seek knowledge. Find out everything you can find out about whatever challenge your child has. Read up on it, do research, find people, go on the internet. Like I said, there's so much knowledge out there now compared to a couple of years ago. So we ask you, ask around, ask everybody, ask your doctors. If your doctor can't answer you, go on Google, ask people, join their communities now. Like it's becoming larger, people are beginning to know more about it, so it's easier. You join communities and then do research. When you now have all this information, then you sit back and like, okay, how now I have all this information, how do I want to use the information? What can I use it to do? An example, you have a child and then you go and see a doctor, and then you expect doctor, you're telling doctor, this is what is wrong with you. And doctor saying, no, the child is going to outgrow. You say, no, sir. No, that's not true. This and this and this and this and this is what I've read about it. I've asked questions, and these are the things I need to do. By the time the doctor listens to you, he's like, okay. There's a certain level of respect that you get. Why? Because you know what you're talking about. So no doctor is going to bamboozle you with go and sleep. No, there's nothing wrong with your child. No, that's that. Another thing we also ask is that we're beginning to find out that a lot of this neurodevelopmental disorders have a bit of genetics in it. What do I mean? There's a possibility that when you are a father or a mother that didn't talk early or something was wrong with that child, there's a possibility that the person's child would have a delay one way or the other. What do I mean? A father that didn't speak until he was 2 or 3. There's a possibility that when he has his own child, that child might not talk until further. So we're beginning to find those things out. So I would not say that you should be, well, maybe you should ask questions about who you're going to marry and all that, because when you are aware, you know how to deal with it. And these things is that, okay, let me give an example of a current client I have. The boy, his son has a can you on, or we wait for Madam Sandra to come on? Sorry, network here in. Okay, they can't hear Sandra, but they can hear. But they can hear me loud and clear. Okay, so should I continue or we start again? Of people and they didn't know what was wrong. And one of the first things I always ask my clients when is let's talk about history. Let's go down history. Let's talk about the child's birth and let's talk about his parents, maybe his grandparents or something. So we did, and my clients, I till he was 5. And they
Wow.
didn't know. It was when we started up until you were I think was it 3 or 5? I don't remember. Is wrong. This is
Mm.
what we can do to help your child. This and
Yeah.
this and this is peculiar to each child. You might see a child now. Now I'm talking about children on with them with autism. You might see a child now that has sensitivity to light. What do I mean? He enters a place and maybe the lights are on, and then he begins to get uncomfortable. That means he has issues
Mm.
with light. There's another that it's noise. He gets into a noisy
Mm.
place and then he's closing his ears. You, the
Mm.
adults, will probably be wondering why is this child closing his ears. That's the
Mm.
noise to you is normal. This therapy is tailored to their child. There's some kids
Mm.
that respond to music that when
Mm.
they learn a lot through music. I have a child like that.
Yeah.
I've been trying to tell the parents we need a music teacher for him. When he get he's not
Wow.
verbal, but believe me, he hums music. There's no
Hmm.
song he listens to, and then he's singing, and I'm like, oh my goodness, we need a now. It's what a 5-year-old child can do. You might be surprised that a 7-year-old child that has a developmental delay or issue might not be able to do it. So it's not about the age, it's about the need
Mm.
of the child. So that's what we always ask. The
Mm.
first thing is get to know what is wrong with your child. Then we find a therapy that is adaptable, that is fitted, that is fit
Mm.
for that child. So that's another thing. And then yes, a lot of times we realize that the parents are overwhelmed. They because they like it just happens. But what I
Mm.
always explain to them is God won't give you more than you can bear. There's always a way out. It gives you capacity. You know what the Bible talks about? With the same level of comfort you've been comforted, comfort others. That means that if you're going through something, you just need to find someone that would hold your hand or whose hand you too would hold. So that you
Mm.
realize that, okay, I'm not on this journey, is not mine alone. There are other
Mm.
people. I can learn from one person, someone else can learn from me. And you know, when you have a community, when you have support, it's easier to take each day by day. It's easier to wake up from the
Yeah.
bed and go like, wow, okay, we survived one day. Lord, thank you.
Mm,
Tomorrow, when I wake up tomorrow, I'll face the journey of tomorrow. Do you understand? So that's
mm,
the thing. Support is also, that's another way to make the best of this journey. Support, finding the support, finding a team. That when I say a team, I don't mean specialists, like maybe your siblings, you have family,
mm,
your husband has family, people that understand, that are on the same page. Not that the ones that you'll
mm,
be telling them that, my child needs to go to therapy at this time, and they're like telling you, no, it's church, let's go and pray. No, people that are on the same
mm,
page with you, that want the best for this child and understand that, okay, this is a process, this is a journey. We would walk it together. We will take it one after the other. We would encourage your child. We would help the child to school. We'll help you keep an eye on him. We'll help. Do you understand? So
yeah.
that's one of, is getting a community, getting people to help you on this journey. And we've come to realize now that now it's becoming more prevalent. We're seeing more children having one challenge or the other. It might be a delay or something, but like I said, it's becoming more pronounced. More people are having it. So before you, like, in a school that you, before you blink, you can see like a couple of children too. So you know that, one, this isn't a me journey, it's us.
Mm,
And one
mm,
thing I've also realized is when the husband and wife are on the same page, it makes it more easier. The child feels the love from the home first, and then goes out also to feel love from the environment that we have created to help the child. Now,
yeah.
another thing I also advise is for people that have physical challenges, like those, like I said, the children that have cerebral palsy and all that, because theirs is more physical. It's a lot more, should I say, would I use the word demanding now? Maybe I could use that. It's a more stressful, because oftentimes you need to carry the child, because a lot of them are not able to walk or sit
Whoa.
initially, until you begin to do a lot of therapy and all that. So you need to carry the child from one place to the other. Sometimes you have, for those that don't have cars, you need to carry them for therapy and all that. And what do we advise in those cases? We advise that be in the therapy room with your child. Learn these things that are being done, so that you can work with that child at home, so that everybody at home with you,
Mm,
the mother, the father, or if you have siblings around or grandmas, they are all part of this journey. So that
mm,
because sometimes the stress of going to and then we don't have so many hospitals. We don't have enough of this. We all know that in this part of the world that we are in. But
mm,
when you've gone to therapy and you've seen what has been done, you can come home also and do the same thing. So
practice.
there's no break in transmit. There's no break in the therapy. It's a continuous process. You, the mother, you're doing it. The father is also doing it. If you have siblings, the grandparents that are still alive, that are still physically fit, can also help. So it's a general journey. Just say it's a community.
Mm,
It's a communal thing. We're all doing it together. It's not one person, so that the person doesn't feel overwhelmed, because the journey
yeah.
can be overwhelming, especially
Hmm.
when you're the only person doing it. But when you have a team, sometimes you can take back and take a deep breath and go, wow, can somebody else help me? So you
Mm,
can't do this journey alone. There has to be people with you. You need to raise a team. It doesn't have to, like I said, it doesn't have to be a professional team, but you have to raise a team of people with you, preferably your family, because your family members are the ones that know you the best. They're the ones that
yeah.
understand you and are willing to help you. So those
Mm,
are that's one of another thing I always encourage too. And then on this journey, it's okay to cry. I tell people it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to get tired. It's okay to say, one thing, I need a break. I need a break from all this. My mental health, it's okay to take a breath and say, one thing, I think I need to rest a bit. I need to, like, just hold on. It's okay. It's
yeah.
part of it's time to breathe. Yes, you need that oftentimes, and I encourage it. But we please ask that do not take a break for too long, because when therapy is delayed also for too long, sometimes it sets the child
There's a
back. So
relapse.
there's a relapse. So we always ask that please do it. Take a breath, and that's what community. A communally, when we were growing up, I don't know generation you were from, it was everybody raising a child, the
Yeah.
brothers, the sisters, the neighbors. You could chance that. And I
Yeah.
remember that, looking back, I'm sure one or two or three or four of us had people in our classes that were strange. But we realized
Yeah.
that it was not so pronounced, because it was almost, using Yoruba, Omowani, it was everybody's child. Everybody was
Mm,
responsible. disabilities or let them what? They are visual learners. They learn by what they see. Able to comprehend because, like I said, they've seen pictures. I had a child that his is 5 now, yeah. And he used to wee like a girl, getting it right. Can we just try just once? Just let him follow you to the restroom once, just you and learning, but just by watching his dad one time, he got it. So that's the he model him how to eat. Model all these things, how to write, model it to them. Let them see. Has sensitivity to light. What can we can modify it to them. We need to help them understand that in looking, but after a while we realize that they begin, maybe they see someone and then they smile, so that it's like, you know how it is when you're like how would I'm trying
So sorry about that. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
So it's not your fault.
I don't
It's
know.
our
It's
network.
yes, and again, it's raining here. It's raining very heavily.
Oh,
So yeah,
oh, that's
so
expected.
the it, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just tripping off and on. So sorry about that. Please go ahead. It's been so insightful.
I think
Please
I missed
continue.
my thoughts. I don't remember what last thing I said.
Okay, you were talking about diet. I think you were talking about the
Okay.
fact that the skin begins to glow, and people start
Yes.
asking what's going on. Did you change the cream? You know.
Yeah. Good. Yes, that's where I was. I also talked about after that. I also talked about confessing, affirmations,
Yeah,
confession, what
exactly,
you want,
exactly. That's
yes,
it.
how, yes, positive affirmations, what you
Mm,
want your child to be. A lot of these motivational speakers or in churches now, they keep telling us have a mental picture of the future.
mm,
You have a child that's not working, that can't work now, but have a picture
mm.
that in a few years from now, my child would stand and walk. My child would run to meet me on at the stairs. So you need to put that picture before
Yes.
that child. That child needs to see it. But
Mm,
I used to run a school, and I remember then I had kids, younger kids learning to work. They worked faster. Why? Because they were seeing people around them standing to work. So that's how it is.
mm,
Put a picture of that future. That future you want that your
mm.
child to be in, that you've seen. Put it before your eyes. Put it
Wow.
before the eyes of
Wow.
the teacher. Put it before the eyes of the child.
Mm,
There's a way our mind lives for greater things. It's we aspire to be better. There's something in
mm,
us that aspires, that makes us want to be better. So we need
mm.
the power of confessions. We need to confess. We need to keep confessing it. You keep saying it even when it seems like your current situation doesn't seem like it, but you keep saying it. Whatever your child's name is, Femi,
Mm,
you would walk. It might seem like as if you're not walking now,
mm,
but we will do everything possible. Now, we're not hoping. Yes, what I mean that we're not just hoping. We are taking steps towards the hope, to achieving that vision. Like now, your child
mm.
isn't walking now. You're saying, Femi, don't worry, you're not working now, but with therapy, we're taking you to therapy. We're doing this, we are building this a leg frame for a standing frame. We know that by the time you stand, it's just a matter of time you would walk. I have seen you
Mm,
walking, my mind has seen you walking. So
mm,
by the time we keep confessing these things, it's
mm.
just a matter of time. The reality comes, it meets with our expectations.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we can't like I said, that's why I explained that we can't afford to lose hope. Do we get tired? Oh
Mm,
yes, there are times we will get tired, but we cannot afford to lose the picture of the future. So
true.
and then another thing the child needs is a lot of positivity, a lot of love, a lot of encouragement. Do these kids see these things? Yes. Let me give an example. I have a client I work with, and over the week, we normally his classes with his sessions with me ends by 12. At the beginning,
Okay.
once when I start to exceed my 12, he begins to, you see him not
Mm,
responding, he's playing, you see him
mm.
doing other things. But this past 3 weeks, now when it's 12 o'clock, he picks my bag and hands my bag over to me. Like, it's time to go home, madam. My session with you is over. Once I delay and all that, you see him moving my feet. He tries to move my feet like, madam, get up and leave. As in, and I laugh and I hug him and I'm like, oh, I'm going, don't worry, I'm going and all. So over a couple of days ago, we were together and then I don't know what went wrong. He just started crying. And sometimes when he wants to be mischievous, he does that. So when I see that he's crying like that, me too, I start to cry. I go like, and then so when he sees me, he pauses and he's like, he now comes, he opens my eyes, trying to see whether there's tears there. Then he now cleans my tears, and he hugs me
Mm,
like, and then he said, he's rubbing my head like, because he's non-verbal, he's rubbing my head like saying sorry. He knows, and I
okay.
do this. I hug
Mm,
him back, and then we laugh together, and then he stops being mischievous. He continues what I want to do. Why did I give that example?
mm,
He understands I love him and I want his progress. So he
mm,
sees he's thriving in that environment. He sees
mm,
that, okay, this is someone that is willing to help me. That is not like coming and seeing him as a border, because these kids, they know when
mm.
you see them as a border, they see you like they feel the negative vibe. So we ask that, please
Yeah.
teach them in an environment of love. Help them see that you love them. That yes, you sometimes you might get frustrated. Even they see when they see that you're frustrated, they see that you see them. Some of them rub your feet or your leg or hug you. You see them quite wondering, looking at because they understand. They see these things, they sense it. So we always ask that. Help them to understand love. Help them to see love. Help them to see that they know, okay, yes, this person loves me and wants the best for me. So that's another way. That's another thing. Help them to see that they are loved. Help them to see that even when they are going through the painful therapy in court, they understand it's a place from love. They might cry and all that, but they understand that this thing is a process. I'm not going to let you go. I need you to stop. I need you to thrive, and we need to do this journey together. So that's another advice I always give too. And then another advice I always give the parents, especially mothers, because fathers have a way of hiding their emotions. Sometimes we know how our men are. They always want to do the Mr. Macho, the strong men, so they're not so expressive. But what I always advise the mom to do is ask your husband questions. Ask him questions. Okay, so what do you think? We've been doing this therapy. Do you think he's working? Do you think he's fine? When you ask them questions, they are able to tell you what they feel. Most men will not come out and say, what's wrong with this boy? We've been doing therapy. No. But when you ask questions from them, they to understand that, okay, what do you think we should do? Do we need to increase his therapy, or do we need to get somebody else? When you rub minds together, the man is able to talk. He doesn't bottle his emotions anymore, because sometimes when their emotions are bottled, they turn aggressive. That's when they snap, they are shouting, they are cranky. But when you're able to talk about it together, because like I said, the common goal is wanting your child to thrive. Both the father and the mother, everybody wants their child to thrive. So when you're on the same page and you're talking together and you're sharing ideas, sharing your pains together, and maybe you're telling the father, I don't even know, we've tried everything. Is there anything we can try? And the father is like, I'm tired too, but we can't give up. You encourage one another also. After you finish all the complaints and like frustrations, you also encourage one another. You're like, don't worry, we can't afford to give up now. We started this journey. We will see the end of it. So the two of you being on encouraging one another is also a way to thrive in this journey. Is a way to help one another. Is a way to overcome the difficult days. Because like I said, there will be times when you will be, yes, it will seem as if you're frustrated. I tell people, as a therapist, as a consultant, there are times when I expect more results and I don't get it. I get frustrated as a person. How much more the parents? So now I'm not saying this thing isn't rocket science. It's not like microwave that, you do therapy today and then the child gets better tomorrow. No, but it's a journey. It's a journey. You can see it. You can see the process. You can see it. 1 minute they're not talking. The next minute your child starts to talk and you're wondering, where did he get all these words from? But because he had been listening, because you had been watching, he had been taking the mind is like a sponge. Whatever he keeps soaking it in. And then the day the child begins to talk, he just begins to talk. Just understand? So and then some of them will begin to talk well. Some of them will just be one word. They just blot out one word after the other. No, daddy, stop, water. They say all those kind of things. So you know that, okay, these children are learning, they are hearing. I remember the first time a client of mine hadn't spoken, and then one day I took a walk with him, and then when he was coming back home, his parents were at the door. So they opened the gate for us, and then they asked him, did you enjoy your walk? And then he said, no. And then we all screamed, all of us.
Wow.
As in,
wow.
We were all in shock, and then we called him back and we're asking him, what did you say? And then he just started smiling. He didn't respond to us again. But it was a milestone that we had achieved, as in he could. So that means he had been listening. He just So then did he continue talking again? No, there was a bit of break. But after a while, he began to say he began to say 2 words, 3 words, 4 words. And then he's making sentences. Is he making long sentences? No. But like I said, he's like he tells you, I eat water. Me want water. He's saying these things. Are they sometimes right? No, but he's communicating. He has reached a milestone. Someone outside might see him and say his English is not correct. We're not bothered about whether his English is correct. We are grateful that he's speaking. Once he begins to speak, he would be, after a while, he now begins to get regular. We begin to correct him. We begin to tell him, no, this is how to say it. and then he continues. So there's nobody can celebrate your child as much as you, the parents. Nobody. And what I want us to understand is, like I said it before, our journey is different. Let me give an example. Your child, you want your child to learn. Let me find a word now. How to write. And he holds his, normally you and I hold our pencils, I don't know when, this way. But my child is learning to hold his pencil this way. Am I going to shout? At beginning, I might say, no, I don't want him to. But what, like I said, he has started writing. Once he begins to write, then we can now correct it and turn him like, okay, no, this is not how to hold your pencil. This is how to hold your pencil. Then we can get him writing aids. Do you understand? There are also some kids that, yes, and those are, and another thing I always say, when you're trying to get a child to write, I tell people, please do not hold your child's hand to write. No, please don't. There are exercises that you teach your child from the beginning, like opening a bottle, like as in opening a bottle, like a bottle, this kind of bottle, teaching him to screw and unscrew it. Do you understand? Those are the exercises your child learns to build his hand muscles. Any child that can't hold a pencil or a pen is because his hand muscles are not matured enough to be able to do that. So until we get these things right, so you shouldn't hold your child's hand to write. No, once he it's like a foundation. You know, you dig the sand, you put things on it. That's how it is. These exercises are on top. You lay them on top of one another, so that at the time the child needs to write, it is easy to write. He or she is able to, has built enough capacity in his hands to be able to hold the pencil. So that's how it is with any child that has a disability or a challenge. It's a process. It's lines upon lines, precepts upon precepts, a little here, a little there. Today we do this exercise. Tomorrow we'll continue. Next tomorrow we continue. Has he mastered it? Yes. Are there aids? Yes. Do you understand? So when the aids come in, when we say that he has mastered it, then we begin to remove the aids little by little. Maybe today if he was using the aids for 2 hours, we don't say that, okay, we want to reduce it to 1 hour, 30 minutes. After he has mastered that, we reduce it to 1 hour. We reduce it to another like 30 minutes, then 20 minutes, then 10 minutes, and then we totally take it out. By the time we take it out, he has mastered the skill already, so he doesn't need that cue or that aid anymore. So that's how it is. We keep it. There's no hard it's not, like I said, it's not microwave. It's a process. It's a journey. We keep at it. We keep it one day at a time. Today he has reached this milestone. We keep, even as much as you're reaching, we don't totally abandon that and go to something else. No. We keep repeating it. We keep repeating it. We keep repeating it until once he masters it, then we add other things to it. We keep adding until they keep getting better. And one thing about it is that once they do it over and over, you can't take away experience from anybody. That's how it is, even with you and I. When you do something over and over again, you master it. So also for a child that has a challenge. Once they get a skill, they learn a skill. Once they keep doing it over and over, they master it. Then they work. And we cannot. One thing I need to add is that we cannot. What's the right word now? We cannot just judge or rate them together with an atypical child. Excuse me, and a child on the spectrum or a child with a challenge or the other. We can't put that. We cannot. The indices are not the same. We must modify the way they learn. Okay, you take your child to a regular school and you want, okay, yes, my child has a challenge, but I want him or her in the regular school. Fine, no problem. But that child will need extra support. You either have a support teacher with that child, or you ask that, okay, can you spend extra hours with my child? There are certain things my child would learn in a regular class, like the rhymes, the singing, social skills. That child can learn that watching his peers and all that. But when it comes to individualized training, like you're teaching numbers to one child, your child with a challenge will probably need more time to learn his numbers. He might need more time to learn his alphabet. He might need more time to know to be able to get his toileting skills right. But like I said, it's a lot of patience. And to help them modeling, you need to model the attitude or whatever the skill you need them to learn, and do a lot of visual cues. And most children most children with any challenge, especially developmental challenge, they are a lot of them are visual learners. Once they can see the picture, and then you do what do I mean? A task analysis. You break down that task you want that child to learn. If it's the process of eating, you break it down. He takes his spoon, how to take the spoon, he brings his plate closer, the next thing is to put the food to his mouth. Do you understand? Once you break it down and they can see the breakdown, they can follow it. All they just need to do is they're like, okay, they can follow the process. That's the kind of people they are. Once they are able to follow the process, they are able to learn. We just need to find that process, that learning way for that child. How long is it? And some kids can sit down well enough a couple of minutes, hours to learn. There's some that they can't. That all you have just a time span of a few minutes to teach that child. So how do you advise you teach that child? We ask that for visual things, anything visual. You keep it in front of them, keep it before their eyes. So they're seeing it, they're excited, they're learning and all that. So those are other things. Excuse me, that's another thing I also want to thank you. That's another thing I want us to that's anything visual is best for them. They learn adequately, they learn perfectly with visual things. I think that's that. Okay, then also finding therapists for your child is one question I have a lot of parents worry about, especially in Nigeria, because we really don't have how would I put it? We don't have like a regulatory body, or we don't have associations, or we don't have so many. There are a lot of people that say they are who they are not. And one thing I always tell parents is the first thing you need to look out for is empathy. Empathy on the child part of the therapist. The therapist must be able to understand you, must be able to feel your pain. You're not asking questions and he's getting angry. You're like, they must be able to explain. When you are skilled in anything, whatever it is that you're skilled in, you should be able to explain it to a child so that child can understand. That's what makes you an expert in something. You should be able to explain whatever it is so that child can understand who you are and what you're doing. So for getting a therapist, person must be empathic. Should be able to listen to whatever question, no matter how silly the question sounds. Should be able to allay your fear. Should be able to explain to you, okay, this and this and this and this and is it. And also, experience is very, very important. They need to have, yes, okay, some people tell me they always want to see all their certifications and all that. Is that important? Yes, it is. But like for me, I tell people it's not a number one. Why? Because we have a lot of people in our society that have all the certificates but have nothing upstairs. You find out they know nothing. They just have compiled all the certificates together. So imagine if you meet such a therapist that has gone through so many courses and has no practical knowledge. That's a misfit. So I always ask for experience. Let someone be able to refer someone and tell you that, okay, I know someone. Would you like to meet this person? So I always that's where communal things, support comes in. When you know someone that knows someone and can always, yes, you understand, like that, and is able to put you through, explain to you, okay, this is what we want to do with your child. This is the process. This is how we are going to achieve it. This is what you would see. This is what we would do. As I'm doing this, I'm asking you at home to also do this. So they help you understand that it's a journey. It's something that you and I would do together. It's not, you're not out of it. No, you are a part of this therapy. You're a part of this routine that we want to create for your child. So those are the things. Empathy for me is it's so important. Experience is also important. And then carrying you along, counseling, because on this journey, you also counsel parents, because some parents will come to you confused. They don't even know what to do. They're just exasperated. They are like at their wits' end. They need help. So you would listen to them, you counsel them, help them understand that, this journey might be a bit difficult, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. If we do this, we might not be able to tell you that, your child will start talking at 6 months. No, but you would see the lines. You can see the journey. You can see the process. So you can also try to do this. So maybe like if your therapist works with your child at home for 2 hours, the remaining hours at home that is going to be with you, you can also try those same things. You may not be skilled, but because you watch, because you've been explained to, you can follow up with what they've been doing. So it's not only when he's in school or when he's in the therapist's office that no, it's something you continue at home. So those are the things. Your therapist must be willing to. He becomes sometimes on this journey. They become family.
Family, yeah.
Because they share your pain. They see you. Your child's milestones become theirs. They're excited because this is they've seen this thing and they're like, wow, we've done this together. We're winning together. So ultimately, they become family also on the journey. Yeah, so thank you. Do we have questions?
Wow. Do we have questions? Oh my God, so much information. Wow. Thank you so much. Do we have questions? I also saw some comments from Haman Awar. Yeah, I saw a lot of your comments, thank you for sharing. Haman. Thank you. Do we have questions? Okay, we have another session that should begin at 7 p.m. Yeah, it was an amazing session. Yes, so if you have questions, I'm going to leave Adefioye's Adebola's handle. Okay, let me just pin it. Please, if you have any question, if you have any challenge, if your child is on the spectrum, whatever it is, please just go talk to her. Oh, I see Madam Lola here too. I see that. Okay, sorry, the handle I typed is wrong. Let me just concentrate and type it. Child experts. So please, if you have any challenge, anybody, that needs to talk to a therapist, please go to her DM. She will be willing to assist. Madam Lola is here too. Madam Lola is also a fantastic therapist, yeah, in these matters as well. Thank you so much for coming, Madam Lola. Thank you so much, Adebola. What can I say? It has been so insightful, power packed, value packed. In fact, I need to go back and process the information. Like I said, all the sessions we've had, I really need to go back, listen, and take notes because they've been very, very explosive, back to back. And this one, fantastic. Thank you so much. So please, if there's no question, thank you for accepting our invitation. So if there's no question, I will just end the session, but I'm going to save it. It will be on my IGTV. It's also on Facebook and YouTube. And if you go to my IGTV, you're going to find three videos with this particular flyer because Instagram or the network kicked us out 2 times. So the video is saved 3 times. There's part 1, 2, and 3. So please go there. You will find her picture there. Just know that that's her session and listen to all 3. Thank you so much. I love and appreciate you all for coming again and again. Thank you so much, Adebola. I love and celebrate you. Thank you. So please come back at 7. We have Kemi Ajayi all the way from Alberta, Calgary. She will be telling us how we can get our children to eat healthy. I mean, Adebola shared some things about that, which is really, really true. Our children, they come in, they don't have, it's not as if they come in with the sweet tooth and all of that. It is what we actually begin to bring them up with, that they get accustomed to. So please come back in a few minutes so that we can also learn from Kemi as she teaches us how we can get our children to eat healthy and eat all the colors as well, not only noodles and rice. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Adebola. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye.
Please, if you enjoyed the session, drop your fire emojis before we go. Drop. Thank you. Fire on for our speaker. Fire on for our speaker. If you got value from that session, it was really, really very insightful. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all for staying with us. So I'm just going to end this. Please come back I'm going live now. I'm going live now again. Once it's 7, I'll go live again for the next session. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Bye bye.